Future Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, today we're going to be creating a landscape of a beautiful mountain from the bottom of the mountain all the way up to the top and even making fires at the top. Today we're taking a look at Solstis. This is from my favorite designer, Bruno Cathala. This is a 1 or 2 player game. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. In Solstis, you're going to be having these landscape tiles. You're going to be building your own sort of tableau with these. Some of these tiles are going to go right next to each other and they're going to paint a panoramic picture. You're also going to be putting rainbows in there and also finding spirits that are going to give you some end game goals or some abilities. Now all the tiles in the game make up this huge panorama. There's only one tile of everything and each row is sort of color coded. And then there's numbers 1 through whatever, going left to right. So you have rows and columns, but that's essentially what the whole thing looks like. But there's 2 players and there's only 1 of each tile, so you're only going to be making about half of that at most. Now the game starts out with 6 tiles here. There's actually 1 beneath all of these. You start with a hand of 3 tiles. On your turn, you're going to take one of your tiles and place it near the display. This is going to have 2 things about it: a number, 5, and a color, orange. The orange denotes the second sort of row. It shows the second one from the bottom colored in here, that little black dot there. Now what this means is I can take any oranges, in this case there's this one, or any 5. I can take this or this. So by placing this, I'm going to take this, this, or this, but I also take the one that I played. So in this case, I have 3 choices. Let's say I take the 3. Now I'll start to build my tableau. I got 3, I got 5, they're in the same row, denoted by the number here, it's by the color, and it's the second row. So all I'm missing here to bridge these is the 4 of orange. And you're starting to build this. Now you're going to be building all over your tableau, and you're trying to connect things because you're trying to have the largest contiguous group, because you're going to get a point for each tile that's in your largest contiguous group at the end of the game. And then this would flip over. So as the game goes on, more and more of these are going to get taken, and there might be a time where you couldn't even match. For example, let's say this is all that was there in the display, and I didn't have anything that matched. I have this. It doesn't match either way. In this case, this gets added to the display, meaning someone, even possibly this player, can take it later. Then you draw a random one from the pile. There's a whole pile of tiles face down, and you place it. If you can match, you take it. So in this case, I could take the 9 of this and a 9 of this, and then it'd be the next player's turn. However, if you could not match, like let's say I took the random one that was this one, well, it gets added to the display, giving more possibilities. That was my second chance. It didn't happen, so I get a rainbow. Now rainbows are cool because they can go in any spot like this, and now this is one contiguous group. However, the rainbows don't count towards the 1 point when you're making a large contiguous area, so it helps you get areas sort of connected, but it doesn't itself count as a point. Meaning these 2 are now going to count as points at the end of the game. If this is my largest contiguous, this one does not count, but I help bridge these gaps. Sometimes this is good at linking together 2 big parts of your tableau. Well, let's say a little bit later, I got this 4, this is the first row, it goes right under here. And let's say I also got this. Anytime that you have a 2x2 that is completed, you'll get a spirit. If you're the first person in the game, you'll draw 2, you'll look at them, you'll pick one. This one, the ones that have blue backgrounds are end game points. This is a 1 point for every rainbow in my panorama. This one is, I would use it right away. I'd get a tile from the face down pile randomly, and I'd get to add it right to my panorama. So let's say I select this one. This one stays here. So next time, if somebody gets a spirit, they can take 2 off the top and pick one and put the one they didn't take here, or they can take this one. Smart way of doing that. And they would place that spirit just like that. Each spirit is also worth a point at the end of the game as well. Now sometimes you'll have things that have a fire lit on them. This one's at the top row in the 4 spot. Now if by the end of the game I'm able to get this linked in a contiguous, not diagonal way, all the way to any red bottom tile, they're going to be worth a point. So sometimes you're trying to link together a bunch of these lit ones all the way down to even just 1 tile. That's another reason why sometimes you might want to get some rainbows in order to get that done. Now you keep going this way back and forth until neither player can capture a tile, and then the game ends. Again, you're going to have your largest contiguous group, 1 point for each in those, not counting the rainbows, of course, as points. You'll get a point for every spirit. Some spirits will give you extra points, and then every lit one that's connected. I do not have this connected. If this was connected down to any red tile, you'd get a point for each of those. Whoever has the most in the end is the winner. All right, what I like about this, first of all, the cute art. I like that, it's very approachable, it looks fun, it looks fine, it looks cute, and it's endearing, the artwork. I like the style of this, and I like that with that art, you are making a panorama, and when you put 2 tiles that are next to each other, the picture kind of goes with it, and so you are building this nice looking thing in front of you. I like that you're trying, when you're getting the tile, you're playing a tile and then you're getting another one that's either the same number or same color, which translates to the same row or the same column. And so there's some strategy there as to like which one you want to get now, which one do you think you can leave there for a little bit later, maybe the opponent won't take it. But I like that you got those two choices and you're getting the tile that you placed in order to get that. So I put a red 5, I could take any 5 or any red, right? But I am going to take the red 5 that I used for my hand to get that. It's an interesting way to select the tiles because you've got the options there. I like that you're trying to create large contiguous groups, areas, or at least a very large one, single one, so because that's how you get 1 point for each of those at the end of the game. So you're trying to like, sometimes it's not that easy though, right? You're making this one area, then it gets sort of broken up, then there's maybe another area here, and you really try to like bridge the gap between those two areas by the end of the game. And that brings in some hate drafting because this is a 2-player game and they can see which ones you're going after. Now they might not have the tiles to be able to get the ones that you want, but they might have them. And so they might see, oh gosh, he needs this tile and this tile, and if he gets those two, he's going to be able to bring 2 big pieces together and have a lot of points. But if that tile's out there and the other player is able to get it, well, you're not going to get that unless you're able to get a rainbow to bridge the gaps there. I like that you're making this 2x2 grid to get the spirit, and then you're going to get some special ability, or you're going to get some endgame goals, and then you can kind of build off that 2x2 to create another 2x2. I like that as it gets harder and harder to match because there's less and less pieces out there, you get this second chance where it's like kind of like randomly brings one out, and you might be able to place it, but if not, then you get the rainbow. And the rainbows are really cool because that really gives you ways to bridge that gap. And I like that the rainbows are sort of like a consolation for not being able to get the tile you really wanted, but at the same time, it still works great because you're just bridging the gap between different areas, probably going to help you make get more points, but the rainbow itself doesn't count as a point, but it does help you bridge areas. I think that was a smart design choice. I like that you're also trying to light the flames that are up higher on the mountain by chance. And some of them actually have a half flame on it, and you get the one next to it and it makes another flame, which is kind of cool. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. Make a biggest area you can, get some flames lit, get some, some spirits in there. It's pretty simple. Anything negative to say about the game? There's not really a lot negative. It's one of those light, pleasant 15-minute games. It's a great filler game. It's fun and light and easy. There is some strategy, but it's one you can play pretty casually, talking it up as you're playing. There's just enough going on to keep you engaged, but there's some interesting things in there, but it's not going to overstay its welcome, and it is what it is. It's a good filler game. What it could use is even a paper playmat. Sometimes in those CCGs, the cheaper ones, Altered, or many of the CCGs that have come out, the one from Disney Lorcana. A lot of times the starter boxes come with like a paper mat that most people don't use for too long, but it just doesn't take up a lot of room, but it unfolds and it just shows you where you can put the tiles. That would have been really nice here. Even just to have a simple paper mat that unfolded that I think probably you could fit in that box if it was folded up. Because you've got these tiles and you place them, it's like, oh, this one's like 3 up and 3 over. And you're trying to count it, but then as you start to build in there, you're kind of like rearranging it so everything lines up right. It just would have been nice to have a little playmat to play on because you know exactly where that tile is supposed to be. Also, towards the end, as there's less and less tiles available to pull from, you're going to be getting a lot more of those second chances. And there's a little bit more luck at the end of the game. That could be a big factor of whether you get the tile you need or whether the opponent gets the tile you need. So sometimes it can feel a little lucky towards the end, but again, this is a quick and easy 15-minute game. If you look for something quick and easy that you can talk and chat with, but still have some things to think about, it's a good one to check out. That's Solstis. Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, and their Christmas Spectacular sale is currently running, where you can get 15% off all accessories and premium game mats with storage solutions, $100 off leg kits with a purchase of a Holmes or Watson Game Topper, and $75 off all dining covers. The sale runs through December 22nd at GameToppersLLC.com.